Drew Gulak addresses the Ronda Rousey allegations. Plus, a title match has been added to AEW Dynasty, and Adam Copeland responds to CM Punk negative BS on AEW Dynamite. It's all in the Cultaholic wrestling news right now. Yesterday, we reported about Ronda Rousey's interview with News Nation, in which she describes a bizarre backstage altercation that she allegedly had with Drew Gulak, in which Drew Gulak grabbed the string of her sweatpants while she was walking backstage. In this interview, Ronda said it was something that she confronted Drew about, and Drew later apologized for. But since that report went out, Drew Gulak has put out a statement about the incident on Twitter.
The statement reads, backstage at a WWE event in 2022, I saw Ronda talking with a group in the hallway. I stopped to say hi and shake all their hands, and in an attempt to shake her hand, I accidentally touched her drawstring. Complete accident, and one that I had apologized to her for the mishap.
Since this is all part of Ronda Rousey, who's been on a tour ahead of the release of her book, Our Fight, where she's been speaking about the culture within WWE, and this is one of those stories that came from one of those interviews. We'll let you know at cultaholic.com if we know more. Dynamite last night, we were on the road to AEW Dynasty, their first April pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's just getting to the point where it's mounting. It's beginning to mount. There's going to be pay-per-views every single day of the year.
Don't say that. I'd like to see my wife at some point.
It's like, I wish it could be Christmas every day. I wish it could just be pay-per-views every day.
I wish it could be pay-per-views every day. On the pay-per-view this month, Thunder Rosa, as a result of defeating Mariah May, is going to be fighting Timeless Toni Storm.
Do you think it's time for Timeless Toni Storm to be toppled?
No chance, Sundance.
Do you think Thunder Rosa's gonna absolutely pummel her?
Yeah, but I don't think she'll win.
Wow.
I am having too much fun with Timeless Toni Storm as the champion for AEW.
Burn it all
Women's
down,
Division.
Thunder Rosa. Burn it down. That's going. Use that catchphrase. Let's go.
Have that. No one else is having that. I enjoyed her on commentary last night. That's what I was starting to say there when I was talking about it. I really enjoyed her on commentary. She said she was so incredibly nervous they'll have to reupholster the chair that she's in, and that's not going to be me that does that. She's too much fun on commentary to the point where it's almost distracting from the match. But I love her as she gets a pass with me. I think they'll have some fun. Thunder Rosa, Toni Storm.
Oh hell yeah!
I think there's a lot in that match, because you go back to pre-timeless Toni Storm days where Toni became like the interim champion,
right?
Because Thunder Rosa wasn't available to defend her title.
There's a lot of lead-in and in and around the situation. I think their styles mesh well as well. It's going to be very interesting to see.
I think they kind of mentioned that. Toni Storm sort of mentioned, Thunder Rosa, she's mysteriously hurt when it's time for me to have a match with her. She mentioned that at the press conference at AEW All Out 2022, and I don't think anything else important happened at that press conference that I can remember. So that was the main thing that people talked about at the end of it. So they're having the match at Dynasty.
But who else is, Tom?
Adam Copeland, he's teaming with Eddie Kingston and Mark Briscoe to take on the House of Black in a trios match of some consequence.
He should have to lose his belt to whoever wins the match if he doesn't win it.
Check it.
Yeah, flat.
Get him gone.
Don't be a singles champion competing in multi-man matches on pay-per-views.
What about Eddie Kingston?
Oh,
because he's got the open weight title.
Well, I guess it's got to apply.
And potentially by that point, Mark Briscoe might be Ring of Honor champ.
Then it all needs to apply. Whoever wins takes it all. That's my opening match. Get it all on.
Congratulations to Brody King, who has won all the belts tonight. Julia Hart faces Willow Nightingale for the TBS title. The AEW tag titles on the line. Well, the tag titles will be on the line in the finals of the tournament. The Young Bucks taking on either Top Flight or FTR.
And then we get Danielson versus Ospreay, which is going to be all kinds of just... Yeah.
All kinds of that. Yeah. All kinds of
and then AEW World Champion Samoa Joe versus Swerve Strickland, which is also going to be all kinds of...
It was a match that Swerve signed for in his own blood last night on Dynamite in one of my favourite contract signings.
What is it with Swerve and blood?
He loves blood.
It's class.
He loves a bit of blood, that boy.
Yeah.
He probably has a blood orange when he gets back. Just because it's got the word blood in it.
Everything has to have the word blood in it.
Yes, indeed. He loves the UK because we say bloody hell.
And there's just a fish tank with no fish in it, just full of corn syrup and red dye. Still a castle and stuff, and
but just
gravel.
blood.
And it's blubbing away.
Oh. Speaking of actually the tag titles, which we did just then, a shocking development in the tournament last night. Not only did the Young Bucks punch their tickets to the finals, but we saw the breakup of one of our favorite teams.
Trent Beretta turned on Orange Cassidy
in front of Sue.
In one of the most despicable. Yeah, I mean,
in front of Sue.
How could you do that to your own mother?
No. He didn't kick his mother.
No, but how could you do that to her emotionally? How could you turn on Orange Cassidy in front of your own mom?
Isn't she Chuck Taylor's mom?
Is she? I thought she was Trent Beretta's mom.
Well, no, I think you're right. Either way, she's the mother of chaos, and that's all that matters. A devastating center. I'm really gutted. I love Best Friends.
You keep talking. I'm finding out who Sue's the mom of. I swear it was Trent.
You're probably right. I just saw that.
Trent Beretta.
You check that. Post-match, they were going to go for the big hug, Chuck, Orange, and Trent, and they went for the three-way hug.
Trent Beretta's mom, Sue, publishes a children's book.
There you go.
Look at that.
Look at this. Like my orthopedic shoe collection, I stand corrected. Trent Beretta flooring Cassidy with a running knee.
Yep.
Storming off past his mother. In front of Sue.
Well, look, I think it's...
In front of Sue.
It's horrible to think about, but I think we've needed to do something here for a while. I think that there's needed to be a bit of a shake-up in this situation for a while, and I think that it keeps things interesting, and it also puts Trent on a platform against Orange Cassidy, and I'd argue that Orange Cassidy is, has been on a larger singles platform than Trent for more of his run with AEW at this point. So I think it's a good chance for Trent to shine here in a feud.
I think so. I think Trent's really good.
Because Trent is class. Like, I just think he needs that standout feud, and who isn't going to hate him for turning on Orange Cassidy, right?
I mean, there is that. And so the one thing people were talking about after Dynamite last night was Adam Copeland opening the show.
Yeah.
So on Monday, CM Punk spoke very openly about his time in AEW, his experiences with the locker room and his experiences with Tony Khan. He referred to Tony Khan as not a great boss, but a nice guy, and said that AEW isn't a real business. Well, this is also in the same week that AEW had their first round of talent cuts, which is something that Tony Khan swore would never happen under his watch.
Yeah, and that's sort of obviously been met with backlash from all sides of the wrestling sphere, particularly the more tribal opposing sides. But Dynamite last night opened with Adam Copeland sort of going against a lot of what's been said, didn't it?
Yeah, he said he'd asked for time, wanted to address the negative BS that has been spewed and celebrate the positives of pro wrestling. He said he watched WWF when he was growing up, watched NWA, watched Stampede. He said he loved pro wrestling. He wanted to end his career in AEW with a murderer's row of talent such as Hangman Page, Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland, FTR, and Will Ospreay. He said he's had the most fun in all of his 32 years of wrestling in AEW, and had lots of praise for other people as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he obviously praised the Bucks, Omega, Khan, and Cody as the people who founded the company, and he said that AEW's pushed the industry into a better place. It's given more people a chance to do what they love for a living, and that should be celebrated. AEW makes pro wrestling better, and AEW is where the best wrestle. And then he invited out Will Ospreay to kick off the evening.
That was it. Yeah, it was. Now it's been met with some negativity online. Whilst there is no one finer at cutting these impassioned promos like Adam Copeland, he has a turn of phrase and an energy and an emotion and a grit that genuinely I always really love. A lot of people have described this as cringe. A lot of people have described it as a rah-rah speech. Because it's in the face of a lot of negativity that probably AEW would have done best to have just ignored and just cracked on with.
This was it, right? I was expecting come Tuesday for there to be a tirade on Twitter potentially and a massive sort of, oh God, here we go again. When there wasn't. And I was like, okay, no response, good. Don't respond to it. Don't bite. Don't engage with it. But who am I to say this, right? I'm not somebody who's in and around the business. I'm not the one who's got their livelihood being affected by the words of other people potentially having a knock-on effect on the view of the company. But at the same time, it wasn't something I was expecting. It just wasn't something I was expecting at this point. I thought the response would have come more in the more free-form online format.
I'm intrigued to find out more about this segment as the days go on, how much of it was... Because a few people have gone, I can't believe Tony Khan sent Adam out to say that. We don't know that was the case.
No, we know that AEW is a very creatively open place from everything we've heard, and it seems that it's more like a, hey, can I get some time? You're not going to say no to Edge, right? To Adam Copeland going, hey, can I get some time? He's not going to go out there and trash you. Like, surely you would. Like, but it's one of those where, I think that people are going to always have an opinion of it being potentially scripted, even if it wasn't. So.
Exactly. Your thoughts, as always, on that promo down there. Go on then. Good luck with it.
Get it done.
It's WrestleMania week, my
It bloody is.
Days.
How are you celebrating?
I'm gonna have a big old cry in the shower. No, I'm not gonna be in the office for it. I'm gonna be probably ordering pizza and drinking beer and watching it.
Well, this is it. So I'm all my work falls after the night as well. So I need to sort something out. But at the same time, I've got the lead in. I've got to watch some Manias. But I think I'm gonna do 7 this year tonight.
Ooh.
I'm gonna do 7 tonight, and then I might do 11 tomorrow because I've not watched 11 in a long time.
All the odd numbers.
All the sort of poor Manias.
But we are otherwise working incredibly hard this week. It's a big old week. 9 pitches for WrestleMania 40 went up on the channel yesterday and on the podcast feed. You can check out predictions for WrestleMania with Adam and Andrew later on to Dizzle. On Saturday, you have live reactions to Stand and Deliver with Ross and Jack at twitch.tv/Cultaholic, and live reactions to WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2 with Adam and Andrew on the YouTube channel too. The What Happened at for WrestleMania and the WTF moments coming up as well. It's WrestleMania week. Everyone's excited. And for more wrestling news throughout the day.
Which weekend song are we going to hear first at WrestleMania this year? Leave your comments down below.
And for the latest wrestling news throughout the day, you can check out cultaholic.com. Stay safe in front of Sue.